What's up, guys? My brother, my sister, and I want them boss again. The US government officially will not attend the G20 summit in South Africa, say President Donald Trump. Say on Thursday, confirming, which is today, confirming, the decision to skip the high-profile global meeting. The United States will not participate in any form that's at the America in South Africa. I will allow you guys to watch the video. You can also leave your opinion in the comment section and tell me what you think about this. Is it for the good of South Africa or for the good of America?
US President Donald Trump said last night that South Africa should not be in the group of 20 major economies anymore, repeating that he will not attend a leaders' summit here, in fact, later this month, during the African country's rotating presidency of the group. Now, remember, Vice President J.D. Vance is scheduled to attend the G20 leaders meeting, which is set for the 22nd to the 23rd of November in Soweto.
For generations, Miami has been a haven for those fleeing communist tyranny in South Africa. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, I'm not going to, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told him I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there.
All right, we stay with this particular story and speak to SABC News specialist correspondent Sophie Mukwena, who's joining us to discuss these latest developments. Sophie, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. So the U.S. president's posture when it comes to South Africa doesn't seem to be changing, but he says he doesn't believe that South Africa should be in the G20. Does this signal somehow that he may not understand what it actually is?
Well, clearly it looks like he doesn't understand what the G20 is, but I don't blame him because he wasn't there when the group was established. It was established in 1999 for the heads of state and government, and the mandate was clear. It is a voluntary organization where you join, and nothing is binding. All what they do, they discuss, and outcomes are based on consensus. And therefore, trying to say South Africa must be excluded, I don't understand, because South Africa is a founding member of the G20. South Africa was not invited to join the G20. And at that time, it was just ministers of finance and also central bank governors of, or you can say Reserve Bank governor. At that time, that would be your Trevor Manuel, finance minister, and of course Tito Mboweni, the late Tito Mboweni, as the person who was in charge of the Central Bank of South Africa, the Reserve Bank. And later it became an organization where you also have leaders meeting. At that time, it was former President Kgalema Motlanthe, after Mbeki was recalled, the first head of state of South Africa who attended the Leaders Summit. And therefore, clearly he doesn't understand. It's not your NATO where he is in control. It's not a military alliance. It's all about discussing challenges facing member states as they relate particularly on the economy.
And as you speak about, why it was formed and where it comes from, I suppose one would then ask, because he continuously is speaking about South Africa and now amplifying his voice as far as the G20 again summit is concerned. So how significant would you say the U.S. voice is there?
Well, it is quite important because the United States of America, it's a big economy, and particularly for South Africa, it's one of important countries as it relates to trade and investment. And therefore, America being this powerful force economically, it's quite a factor. And when you look at the formation of this group, it was after the financial challenges in Asia, where leaders said, in future, we don't want to see this situation, because when one country, a massive country or a region, experiences economic challenges, you have that trickling effects in terms of countries that are linked to that particular country. So we must always look at early warning systems. We must always be prepared how we intervene. And that is why in 2008, again, when there were those challenges, there was a meeting in terms of how do you deal with the challenges that were there at that time. And therefore, it is quite important because America is a powerful economy. It has to be there.
And of course, as we end off our conversation, let's speak about the importance of South Africa hosting this and coupling with that, right? Looking at the outcomes and what can we expect, given the fact that you have a United States that's not supportive of the theme?
Well, South Africa has a lot to benefit in terms of continuing to strengthen its relations with the member states. We know that the European Union as a bloc is supporting the theme. And therefore, already you have lobbied support for the country. But secondly, South Africa is able to put the agenda of the South-South on the table with these powerful industrialized nations. And therefore, there are lots of things that you can benefit from. I mean, South Africa is not an island. We are part of BRICS, well and good, but that doesn't mean that we cannot strengthen relationships with other multilateral organizations or voluntary groups to ensure that we strengthen trade relations, political relations, and including security discussions. And therefore, the G20 is quite important for South Africa. And I think President Ramaphosa appointing that team that is led by Professor Stiglitz, it has produced a document that can guide not only G20 member states, but the whole world in terms of addressing challenges of inequality. And therefore, you see, it is important to have these groups and be part of these groups because you are able to lobby and also to mobilize resources.
A critical gathering at a critical time.
Trump says he's boycotting South Africa's G20, and Ramaphosa just fired back hard. Breaking news. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has responded after the United States announced it's boycotting the G20 summit happening in Johannesburg later this month. Ramaphosa didn't hold back. He said, "We will take fundamental decisions, and their absence is their loss." He added that America is walking away from its responsibility as the biggest economy in the world. This came after Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social, saying it's a total disgrace that the G20 is being held in South Africa. Trump claimed the South African government mistreats white farmers, but the government has strongly denied those claims, saying no group, including Afrikaners, is being persecuted. Ramaphosa's message was clear. South Africa won't be intimidated or slowed down by any global power. That's all for today. Do you think America's boycott will really affect the G20? Or is this just another political move against Africa? Drop your thoughts below, like this post, share it, and follow for more updates from Team News Updates.
Has decided to pull America out of the G20 summit, which is taking place in South Africa. And he did a post, True Social, all in caps, that kind of thing. Donald, why are you shouting? But anyway, he's pulled him out, and nobody from America is going. This is the first time that I can remember that no representation from the United States didn't go to a G20 summit. This is actually a really big deal, and because the sending an American delegation to the G20 is an opportunity to delegate and negotiate on America's behalf to get deals to increase cooperation and partnership for the good of the American people. And by cutting this tie, Donald Trump is potentially cutting more deals and opportunities for the American people. And I don't think a lot of people don't realize how serious this is. Anyway, source for this is the BBC. My name is... So Donald Trump has decided to pull America out of the G20 summit, which is taking place in South Africa. And he did a post, True Social, all in caps, that kind of thing. Donald, why are you shouting? But anyway, he's pulled him out, and nobody from America is going. This is the first time that I can remember that no representation from the United States didn't go to a G20 summit. This is actually a really big deal, and because the sending an American delegation to the G20 is an opportunity to delegate and negotiate on America's behalf to get deals to increase cooperation and partnership for the good of the American people. And by cutting this tie, Donald Trump is potentially cutting more deals and opportunities for the American people. And I don't think a lot of people don't realize how serious this is. Anyway, source for this is the BBC. My name is Nick. I would love you guys to give me a follow. And by the way, folks, I just want to say thank you for all the support. You're all beautiful, intelligent, sexy, incredible people. And I'm very thankful that you support my live and my little videos. Thank you very much.
Any update on your plans to attend this year's G20? And then are you saying for next year?
I won't be going this year. It's in South Africa. I won't be going. JD will be going, great vice president, and he looks forward to it. But no, I won't be going to that.
And then I guess for 2026, are you saying it'll just be exclusively the 19 countries, the 2 blocks? There won't be any.
No, we're going to invite other countries as observers. They call them observers, but they'll have something to say. But we're going to invite Poland. Already I've issued them an invitation. They're great. They were just here, as you know. Great leader. Great new leader.
What about Russia? What about Russia?
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't thought of that. No, I haven't thought of that. That's an interesting question. I'm going to think about that for a little while.
Well, I take whatever Donald Trump says with a pinch of salt. Obviously, they will be Americans. There might be junior Americans, officials who are going to be at the G20, but certainly there's going to be Americans. So whatever he says, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. Not long ago, he confirmed that J.D. Vance was going to be attending instead of him. Now he's telling us that no Americans are going to be there, which is obviously going to be changing very soon, because I can rest assure you that Americans are going to be there. They've been working with the current secretariat in organizing this G20. As you know, there's a tripartite chairpersonship secretariat, which is consists of the past, present, and future leadership or chairpersonship of the G20. And Americans were part and parcel of that. South Africa will be working with America after President Cyril Ramaphosa hands over the chairpersonship on the 25th. So that's one. Number two is President Trump is on a back foot at the moment in the United States, following heavy criticism about him prioritizing white refugees into the United States. So he's shifting the goalposts by basically saying it's not about whiteness, it's about the persecution of Afrikaners, which is obviously false and a lie. And I think we should laugh this off, and South Africa should not really worry much about these kind of statements. There's no country in the world that has reported on this. There's no media in the world that has reported on this. Obviously, it's Donald Trump's dream world fantasies that he's reporting on. And for me, at least from where I sit, what is of more concern is that those that went to peddle this lie in the United States in a form of solidarity and others are chup still, to use an Afrikaans word, at the moment. Instead of them showing up and refuting these lies, they are not saying a word. And they continue, of course, somehow benefiting from this lie. But I don't see it succeeding in terms of turning a global public opinion against South Africa, nor discouraging any foreign direct investment.
Welcome back, guys, and also thank you for watching the video. You have seen what Donald Trump said, and what could have been the reason why Donald Trump make this kind of decision, saying that South Africa would not be among the 2020 G20 summit, that he himself will not even attend G20 in South Africa this year, that he even want all the America government, not of them should attend the G20 in South Africa. You can leave your opinion in the comment section. Thank you for watching.